Girl, it's Friday night. We ain't checking in a while on a Friday night. It's time to step out on this Friday night. You acting like an old lady. Well, you probably right. Let me look up in the closet, see what I can wear. Check the bank account. Let me see what I can spell, baby.
I'm a single mom of a 2.5-year-old. I've been split up from my ex for about 10 months now. I still get hit hard sometimes with the grief and the loneliness of it all. Like, I took him to the park and we were playing alone for a long time, and he was saying cute things, funny things, and I was texting my mom and my sister and, telling them what he said, and then another family comes and it's a mom, a dad, and a son his age, and they're all three playing together, and the kid says something funny and they both laugh and look at each other and talk about it, and I literally had to leave the park because I started sobbing because I grieve that life so hard. You can have all the support in the world, you can have the best parents, the best family, but nothing replaces that relationship you have with a spouse. Mommy. And your kid. And sometimes it just feels so overwhelming that it still feels so heavy. And that the guilt still eats away at me, even though I know it was the right decision. Just the guilt that I can't give my son, that life.
There are no phones connected. Connect a phone and try again.
It feels really heavy and really overwhelming still. And sometimes I just feel really tired. This is all to say, if you're doing this too, you're not alone. It freaking sucks. I don't know when it's supposed to get easier. I don't know if it ever will. I don't know if this is just the pain I feel forever. But if it is, I feel it with you.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
I will never be able to understand this feeling of guilt when you're the one who decides to break up your own family. She suffers when she sees a united family as God intended, but when she had her own, all she did was focus on how unhappy she was in that life and abandon everything. Because, of course, she deserves to be happy. 80% of divorces are filed by women, and this percentage is even higher among professionals. So, how do you complain about the man when you're the one who leaves? How can you say you love your children when you're the one putting them at a disadvantage in life? We don't know the details of her divorce. We'll dive into that in the next video. But it's hard to believe someone who claims to want the best for their children when their actions always end up prioritizing what suits them best.
Good morning. Happy Saturday. I thought I'd do a little chatty get ready with me. I'm feeling a little dark this morning. So, to be honest, I usually cope with just humor, but I'm afraid I don't even have that to offer today. I feel like I've been kind of vague with my current life situation, and that's because it's all still kind of new to me too, and I just needed a second to adjust. I've mentioned before, but my son and I are living with my parents right now. I'm kind of in the early stages of a divorce, and it's quite literally sucked the life out of me. I was at my old house last night picking up the majority of what's left of my personal belongings. That was definitely emotional. It's this stage of going to the house, getting your things, seeing old photos, even just the familiar smell of it all. It just literally like knocked the wind out of me. And so that was hard, but I did it. And then the icing on the cake was Breeze stayed with his dad last night. And so then I just left Breeze. And as a mom, that will never get easier, I don't think either. It literally just feels like I am leaving a limb behind. It feels so unnatural to not put my baby to sleep every night. So it was honestly just a hard day yesterday and hard morning this morning. But I also want to say this to anyone that's going through this or has gone through this or is about to go through this. You can do it. I am God's weakest soldier. Like, I am so soft and I'm getting through it just fine. And if you would have told me that I was going to be going through this, I would have said, like, I can't survive it. I could not survive that. I would never be able to survive a divorce with a child. Like, that will literally kill me. That'll take me out.
As you could see, this is a 35-year-old woman with a child who decided to end her 10-year marriage. Although we don't know the full story yet, looking at her videos, the pattern is clear. A group of single friends on the sidelines, a life centered around the gym, and a housewife role that didn't seem to fulfill her. This reinforces the saying that if your woman has many single friends after 30, the next single one will be her. It's a cycle repeated by many women who fail to mature, who want to keep living as if they were in their 20s. They prefer the girls' trips, the constant outings, instead of building a life of stability. Why do I say this? Let's just take a look at the next video.
And I was so wrong. Like, all of that to say, like, you will be fine. It's definitely been the most humbling experience of my life to have a 10-year marriage end and move back in with my parents into my childhood bedroom and lean on them for emotional support. But with that has also just come so much like growth and self-love, and it's been really beautiful and healing, all the good things too. I remember hearing this concept on a podcast once, and it has really just stuck with me throughout this entire process as well. And it's this idea that you can have two like opposite or contradicting feelings at the same time, and both can be true. So I feel like that's honestly what's gotten me through. Like, I have been sad, grieving, angry, bitter, but like at that same time, I have also been fulfilled, happy, joyful, peaceful, content. I can be happy and sad. Like, I can have both of those feelings and not try to push out one or the other. Anyways, I know I've been rambling, but I feel like I just always see people out on the other end of it, and they're like success stories of making it through and whatever, but like, I'm just kind of in the middle of it, and I just wanted to talk about how it feels to literally be doing the thing that's really hard, and to hopefully just like give hope to anyone else who's going through it too. Let you know that like you're not the only one going through it, because it can feel like the most lonely and isolating thing in the entire world. I just want to thank you guys for being here and being my internet friends. It's been like a very unexpected, fun community. So thanks for being here. Love you guys. Bye.
Hey, bro. What? Oh, my God!
See what I mean? Where did she move? To her parents' house, of course. Now they're the ones responsible for the grandchild. Meanwhile, she can go out with her single friends, enjoy life, demand child support from the father, and of course, get financial help from mom and dad. In the meantime, she makes TikTok videos about how hard divorce is, looking for attention with her personal growth story. Responsibility is kryptonite for women. Most of them don't want to be wives or take care of a home. They want to live the single life, even while married. Marriage has become just another checklist goal. Have the wedding, get married, live together for a while, have a child, get divorced, and move on as if nothing happened. We see different stories, different faces, but always with the same purpose.
I got a call the other day from a client whose divorce I had finished up about 5 years ago. And that wasn't the first phone call. As a matter of fact, I had probably gotten 50 phone calls and probably just as many emails from her during the time period after the divorce, the 5 years. And here's the reason why. She wanted revenge. She wanted her pound of flesh. Her husband had left her for another woman, had left her with 2 kids, and he had gone on with his life. As a matter of fact, he had gotten remarried. He had got a good job, a nice house, nice car. Everything from the outside looked like he was doing quite well. And that made her angry because she was not doing well. But part of the reason why she wasn't doing well is because she could not let go. When you get divorced, you've got to put that behind you and move on with your life. And I understand there's going to be a period of grief. There's going to be a period of anger. All of those emotions will come to the surface, but at some point, you have got to let go and move on with your life. Otherwise, you're going to end up hurting yourself more than you're going to hurt the other person. Now, she may be able to get him held in contempt, may even be able to get him locked up, and that's going to give her some satisfaction, but it's not going to solve the real problem that she has. She's got to let go and move on with her life. When you get divorced, that's very important. If you can't do that and you hold on to that, it's going to cause you many problems in the future.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Did you hear that? They got divorced, he moved on, found a new wife, and he's happy. But because he wasn't happy with her, now she's jealous and wants to destroy him. Because misery always loves company. Just hearing this, you can imagine the hell this man must be living. She's probably making his life impossible with the kids. And the worst part is that even after separating, she still has the power to ruin him. As the lawyer said, she can have him declared in contempt or even get him locked up. And all of this, why? Because this man had the courage to move forward. Meanwhile, she can't let him go and would rather use the system against him. Then they say the patriarchy oppresses them, when the law is clearly designed to allow them to ruin the life of a man who's just trying to do the right thing. This is terrible, brothers.
There is a reason that men make fun of single women.
And what reason would that be?
Whether it be a single mom or someone who's just chosen to never marry. And it's because they feel threatened.
Somehow I doubt that.
The more women who take that route, the less women there will be available to them. And they're afraid of other women looking at those women who are single and being like, oh, like she's actually pretty happy and satisfied, and then following suit.
That's an interesting theory. I'll give one that.
So they make fun of them and try to paint them in a bad light so that doesn't happen.
That doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
And the reason men want a larger dating pool is not because they actually like women and want to find like their soulmate or someone they love they want to share their life with.
Oh, okay. So what is the reason?
They're afraid of being alone. Well, they are afraid of being alone.
Some perhaps, but a large amount of men are actually perfectly happy being single.
But it's because they don't know how to do things for themselves. They want a wife because they want someone to cook and clean for them and take care of everything and basically be their mother who they can also sleep with.
That's actually not what most men want, but by all means, go on with that narrative.
Nothing makes a man angrier than seeing an older woman who is single and happy. Before men come in my comments like, I am married. I am married to a man. But if you don't want to be alone forever, you're just going to have to step up because women are finally standing up for themselves and asking for more. And that more is what they've always deserved.
Granted, there are some men out there that do seem to enjoy making fun of women that are single. However, whether right or wrong, a lot of those women tend to make it a little bit too easy to do. But I digress. But do bear in mind that there are quite a few men out there that are actually choosing the peace of being single for a lot of the same reasons that women are. But I guess if one is going to worry about men making fun of women that are going to remain single, then I suppose one should keep that same energy for women that make fun of men for doing the very same thing.
When robots that can handle all household chores hit the market, it'll be interesting to see what the new narrative will be. We're going to laugh a lot at this, because with technological advances and how easy it is to keep a home clean nowadays, more and more men are choosing singlehood, accompanied by money and, above all, peace. According to the latest census, there are 331 million Americans, 50.52% women, 167 million, and 49.48% men, 163 million. That leaves a difference of 4 million more women than men. So why is the narrative being pushed that there are more single men than women? Either my math is wrong, or feminists don't know how to count. Because, based on these numbers, there are 2 women available for every man. Even subtracting the rainbow group on both sides, there are still more single women. Logic doesn't work with these women, but we'll keep laughing at them because the wall doesn't forgive.
Do you think that men hold no value? Like they're just a waste of space, nothing to be loved and honored in a relationship? Because I do expect him to love, honor, celebrate, view me as a blessing in this relationship. So why would I want that from him, require that from the person I'm in a relationship with, but not be willing to give it? I think it's very problematic to suggest that men are not a prize just as much as women are. And it's sad that we do live in a world today that will support that. Yeah, it's only women that are the prize. No. If you got a good man, girl, you better honor that man. I'm like, why would I not? I expect it from him. I require it in a relationship. So no, I don't agree with that. But I do agree with you that the insult was made in poor taste. I should not have said it in the way that I did. Well, I did say that I was thinking it. I didn't say it to them, but it's still poor taste.
Brothers, of course, a man has value. Nowadays, for men to have a relationship even with an average woman, they have to bring a lot to the table. This is even more significant when the woman is relatively attractive. The problem, brothers, is that there are many men out there who don't really know their worth. They let themselves be bossed around by any woman, making it feel like she is the prize in the relationship. This is a mistake. When a man is the one who needs to have a high salary, a home, a vehicle, take the lead in inviting to restaurants, dress well, please the woman with gifts or an intimacy, who then contributes more value to the relationship. When a man is required to bring a lot to the table to be in a relationship. That's why men who understand their value are the ones who end up with the best women. They understand that if they are in the top 20%, they are the prize because it's easier to find a beautiful woman than to find a man of value. Women know this. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so many beautiful women going after high-value men, and there wouldn't be so many dating coaches advising women on how to get their high-value man. So, knowing this, brothers, who is truly the prize in the relationship?
Of course, single dads can only be successful, more successful than single moms, because they're pawning their kids off, right? Actually, that's incorrect. Let's check the Pew Research Center because they collect census data. As it turns out, a full 59% of single dads have no spouse or cohabitating partner in residence with them. You're welcome. Another interesting fact is that single dads tend to be younger than single moms and have a lower level of education, and yet they are far less likely to live at or below the poverty level. A whole 26% of single dads don't even have a high school diploma, and they're still making more money than single moms. A quick reminder on what the statistics are for single mother households in comparison to unbroken homes or single father homes. You are 5 times more likely to unalive yourself. You are 9 times more likely to drop out of high school. You're 10 times more likely to abuse drugs. You are 14 times more likely to commit rape. You are 20 times more likely to go to prison. And you are 32 times more likely to run away from home. Now, I do find it at least a little bit interesting that seeing how the statistics are proving that single dads are younger and have a lower education, and yet they are far less likely to live under the poverty level, says something about their commitment to raising their children. It speaks volumes about how important it is to them to give their kids a good life.
This is for the girl who thinks that she's gonna be single for the rest of her life. For the girl that's like, there is just not a man that God has for me. This person does not exist. I'm going to be alone forever. First of all, God sees you. He knows exactly where you are. He has you here for a reason. He empathizes with your frustration and your hurt and your disappointment. He sees it. He's with you in it. But God is sovereign. And that means that he is above all things and knows all things. He is sovereign over the world, over your life. Let me tell you, the way that God can just pull things out of thin air and place them into your life is wild. He is a God of the impossible and a waymaker and a miracle worker. It is not time to give up hope. Watch him just do it. Watch him put it all perfectly into place. It's gonna blow your mind. And if things seem impossible right now, then it is the perfect stage for the Lord to bring a miracle into your life and to give him the ultimate glory.
Lately, there's been an increase in the number of Christian women converting, especially as they approach their 30s. The reason is simple. They are seeking conservative men providers who can help form a family, men with good Christian values who don't judge a woman's past and can offer marriage. This is because outside the church, men are less inclined to marry. They are not looking for women who have hit the wall. Many women fear they won't find a beta provider who can offer long-term security and financial stability. That's why you see so many women wanting to go to church, delivering the message that God will bring the right man for them, someone they can marry. After going through the carousel, enjoying themselves, they want to deceive a church brother who won't scrutinize their past or baggage. It's like a meme I saw. My husband is Christian. I cheated on him with another man. I blamed it all on the devil that made me sin. We prayed for forgiveness for our sin, and we started the cycle again. This was a meme, brothers, but believe me, it happens more than you think. These beta providers believe in forgiveness, not in a woman's past. And a wolf, even if it dresses like a sheep, is still a wolf.
It's funny because it's true.
About to leave for a first date that I'm very excited about. If you want to see this outfit come together, go to part 1. I'm very excited for this fun coat. Perfectly oversized, so cute. All right, let's get out of here. For once, I left myself plenty of time to get ready, but then realized I forgot to eat dinner, so we're gonna stop for a slice on the way. Just walked by a group of women, and one of them said to the other, "Have you heard of the pickle theory?" And now I must know, what is the pickle theory?
What can I get you tonight?
Do a grandma slice, please.
All right. Middle's fine, or corner?
Oh, corner, please. If walking down the street eating a slice of pizza is wrong, I don't want to be right. Was it a great idea to eat a saucy, garlicky meal literally on the way to the date? Probably not, but no regrets. Getting the corner was the move. This crust is delicious. Do I have sauce anywhere? Anything in my teeth? You guys would tell me, right? It would be too late by the time you do. Got honked at by a man on an e-bike, or like bell runged at? I don't know what the phrase for that is. Sir, what's your plan? Am I gonna hop on your handlebars and off we ride into the sunset? I'm back from my date. We had just as much fun as I thought we were going to. We're gonna call him Billy Joel, or BJ for short. Ooh, yeah, we're not gonna call him BJ for short. We sat and talked for like 3.5 hours. He's very funny in like a really humble way. He asks really insightful questions. And we talked about seeing each other again. So here's the date 2.
I don't know, brother. It seems fake to me. She ate before the date, went to various places, when most women go on a date straight from home because they're supposed to eat there. Besides, after the date, she doesn't go home. She has time to record a video in the bathroom talking about this man. After a 3-hour date, and it seems like she walked or something, it just doesn't add up for me. What do you guys think?
I'm just here to normalize that it's completely okay if you're in your 30s, that you're single, that you aren't even looking to be dating, that you don't have children, that you don't own your own house, that you don't have a car, never even taken driving lessons. It's all okay. There is no timeline on life for you to achieve whatever it is by a certain age, by a certain milestone. You can do whatever you want with your life, and if you don't want to do any of those things, it doesn't matter. And I think we really need to normalize that it's okay to be different. It's okay to choose differently. And you know, like one of the most frequently asked questions that people get, or I get, especially as a woman, is, are you seeing anyone? Have you got a partner? Are you married? Like, are you dating? Like, do you not want to date? Why do you not want to date? You know, do you not want to settle down? Like, and it almost makes you believe that there's something wrong with you, but there is absolutely nothing wrong with you at all. I don't know why my glasses are steaming up, but there's nothing wrong with you at all. Like, you can choose whatever you want to do with your life. Like, if you're happy being by yourself, then you do that. Like, I've been through so much in my life, so much adversity, that I've really gotten to know myself on a much deeper level. I've really had to do a lot of inner work, and I'm so comfortable being on my own now. Like, the actual idea of committing to anything freaks me out. Like, and it's not that I'm never gonna do that or I'm never gonna be with somebody, but it doesn't feel like it's something that I need. Like, it would be a bonus to share experiences with someone, but right now, like, I'm completely happy just doing my own thing and being me. I don't have my own house, I don't have a car, like, I don't have these things, and I'm completely okay with it. Like, I am fine with walking to places or getting the bus to places or the trains. Like, it's okay, and I think we need to normalize that it's okay to do those things, and not everybody's life has to look exactly the same. So if you are in a similar boat to me, then it's okay. Welcome to the club. And yeah, you get to just decide whatever it is that you want to do with your life, and that's okay. Like, you never need to justify why. Like, it's up to you. So sending love.
Brothers, I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks that these kinds of messages sound like those of a loser, telling others it's okay to be a loser, that you don't have to be a winner as others expect. That's what I hear when I hear people say, you can be anything you want to be. That's a lie. If I want to be the president of the US, I'll be it because I demand it. Here's the problem with today's woman. If someone tells you, you don't have kids, no house, no husband, no career, no car, what the heck happened in your youth? Riding the carousel, this, you can be anything you want, sounds to me like you're someone else's burden, probably your parents. Brothers, if your life isn't going the way you want, instead of going on about self-discovery, it's better to rethink, what the heck am I doing wrong? What can I do differently? Because if your results aren't good, something is wrong, and you're the only constant in the equation. It's not anyone else, you're the only one. So, change yourself instead of thinking you can be anything you want without doing anything. Brothers, a woman who doesn't change her game on time, you know what awaits her, the wall. As we all know, the wall doesn't forgive.
Let them know that you just told me that you got pregnant by another guy and we're supposed to be married.
But you know what? That don't even matter because we got a baby on the way, so we can be able to take care
Who has a baby on the way?
About that, I have a baby on the way.
Yeah, you have a baby on the way.
Yes, so this baby can also be yours. What are you talking about?
What you mean can also be mine? I didn't get you pregnant, somebody else did.
But right now, that doesn't even matter. You have a baby that's about to come into the world.
You have a baby that's about to come into the world. You have a baby that's coming to the world. We don't have anything that's coming to the world together.
But you're going to be a great father.
Who's the baby father?
That doesn't even matter.
Who's the baby father?
It doesn't matter.
You're right, it doesn't matter because it ain't me. And I'm not taking care of it.
Why not?
So what you gonna do?
Why not?
What you gonna do? What you plan on doing? No.
So you're saying you're gonna abandon this baby?
You abandoned me when you decided to go out and get pregnant by somebody else. You didn't care about this marriage. You didn't care about me. All you cared about was yourself. I can't forgive. That's something that's unforgivable to me.
It can't be unforgivable.
It's absolutely unforgivable.
I'm your wife. You can't forgive.
No. Oh, now you care about being my wife. Like, how long have you been cheating on me? This whole time I think that we've been married and we're together and we're committed, and you've been out here going out having and getting pregnant.
That's okay, but listen though, this baby that's gonna come and that's gonna change all of this.
This is not about to change anything. Yeah, no, you're right. It is about to change something. It's gonna change everything. It's gonna change. It's gonna. We're nothing. We're not gonna be anything.
Hell to the no.
The audacity of some women is unbelievable. She cheats on her husband while married, gets pregnant by another man, and then expects her beta provider husband to take responsibility for Chad's child. How can anyone think that a baby will solve problems when it's the result of betrayal? A child that's not your own is not a blessing. It's a problem. What man in his right mind would want to raise another man's offspring, especially under these circumstances? It's because of cases like this that I will always say, mandatory DNA tests. If he hadn't discovered the infidelity, that man would have believed the child was his and lived a lie. Let's continue.
You are going to be in a happy family with this guy that you got pregnant by. Yeah. He's absolutely. I'm not in the picture. I'm not. I don't have anything to do with it. You're trying to make me want to take care of your. You want me to take care of your child. Your child. That's your child. That's not my responsibility. It's not. How are you carrying a child for me if you got pregnant by somebody else?
Because that doesn't even matter. Like,
you didn't even let me know that you were trying to get pregnant.
But I am now, so that's all that matters.
Yes, what matters is you need to figure out what you're going to do with your child, with this man, and I have nothing to do with it anymore. This is your problem.
I said, no, that's going to be our problem. What you talking about?
It's not. No. I have nothing to do with it. And it's crazy how you think that I'm actually supposed to be taking care of this child.
Why would you want to take care of your child?
Because I'm not the one that made the baby with you. It's not my child. You did all the work, and guess what? You did all the work, and you can continue to do the work without me. I have nothing to do with it.
You can take care of the child.
I can, but I'm not.
Why?
Because I didn't get you pregnant. What are you saying? You sound so crazy right now. What do you mean, why not? How are you okay with cheating on me, Ron? Let's stick to the fact that you went and cheated on me. Let's stick to the fact that we're married. You cheated on a married man. You set yourself out. You did this. You put this on yourself. You should have thought about that when you decided to go cheat on your husband of 10 years with somebody that you won't even tell me who it is.
They don't even matter. They are nobody. It don't even matter.
That's not my problem anymore. That's not my problem anymore. This is your problem now. We were supposed to be married. We are supposed to be a family. We're not anymore. I can't support somebody going out cheating on me and getting pregnant.
Oh my God.
Hey, look at how you acting. Like, you don't even seem like you even care.
I do care. That's what I'm saying. Like,
You don't act like you care. You seem like you care more about financial stability. I guess you can't take care of it, huh? And that's why you're telling me.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Brothers, remember that responsibility is kryptonite for women. 10 years of a relationship thrown away for a fling. This woman had a clear plan. Secure the seed and genes of the Chad, the man she truly desires, while putting the beta provider in charge of raising another man's sin, guaranteeing herself long-term financial stability. What's most alarming is that she doesn't show even a shred of remorse. Brothers, no matter how much you trust your partner, protect your interests. You are not oblivious to the times you live in. Always get a DNA test. These women have no loyalty. If they can get you to raise the seed of another man, the one they truly wanted, they will do it without a second thought or any remorse.
no, for real. Like, literally, this can be a partnership here. Like, this really a
No, this isn't going to be anything. I think that we need to consider some stuff, reconsider some things. Right. I'm not taking care of anything. I don't want anything to do with the child, and I don't want anything to do with you, actually. I don't want to have anything to do with the child or you. So you got to figure it out on your own. I'm done with this. I'm done with this. But guess what? I just want the world to see what type of person that these women are. We got to protect ourselves against women like this. We have to protect ourselves against women like this. We can't trust them. Let this be an example for men to make better decisions in the future. This is the example of a woman you don't want to be with, fellas. Take heed. Yeah, whatever.
So I know marriages go through things. Some things are forgivable and some things aren't. In this situation, it's a little iffy. It's base by base situation. Would you have forgiven her? Would you take her back? Drop your comments. Let me know what you think. This is a wild one.
What do you mean it's a bit doubtful? Of course, this is unforgivable. A man who respects himself doesn't tolerate infidelity, let alone raise another man's seed. Let the real father take responsibility. These kinds of situations happen because there's always a savior willing to clean up the messes others left behind. She was mature enough to leave a 10-year relationship, get involved with another man, sleep with him, and get pregnant. Who knows how long she'd been cheating on you? Now, instead of owning up to her problem, she wants you, the good old beta provider, to fix her life. Responsibility is kryptonite for women. As he rightly said, this message is a warning for men to protect themselves from these kinds of women. You can love someone, but never be their fool. Always protect your interests as a man.
Ah, yes, another individual who doesn't quite seem to grasp the concept of what child support is meant to be used for. It is meant to support the child. It's almost like the actual meaning is in the name itself. It's not there to go get a haircut. It's not there to buy yourself some new nails or some new clothes. No, instead of spending that money on yourself, use it for what it is meant for, to support the child. Put that money away for their future, for their college, a future home, a future car, to support the child. I'm really getting tired of some women making a lot of other women look bad.
It's funny because it's true.
100% of my check goes to our 4 kids, but 30% of his. So no, I will never feel guilty for spending a small percentage of reimbursement on myself as long as my kids are taken care of. I will use my child support however I deem necessary. It's not dictated funds. If I have paid for bills, mortgages, food, etc., from my money first, I will then sublimate other costs from child support. I paid child support $875 a week. She gave most of the money to her boyfriend. I disagree. If I'm taking care of my child 24/7 on the daily, that child support check is to do whatever needs done. Mind you, we don't need nails and hair done, but that's my business. I now spend the money I get for child support on myself, since my kids are adults and I had to support them growing up, so now my turn.
I don't think it'll ever get any easier taking your kids back.
Stop even open my oh no. When I'm underwater, he makes a man.
I missed them. So I miss you too, Daddy. About 10 seconds after that, he said, Dad, you going home alone?
The saddest part about this is that these men really, really want as much time with their kids as possible, and they're constantly denied. And even when they're doing the best they can by driving back and forth over an hour or more every weekend, they're still going to be told by the baby mom that it's not enough. I think sometimes women forget that men have feelings, but also how hurtful it is to miss the day-to-day. And since men usually only get 40% of the time after divorce, the time just isn't the same.
The saddest thing, I think, for a divorced dad is waking up in the middle of the night and not having, when I was married, just being able to wake up in the middle of the night and peek in and see my little angel sleeping.
I witness it almost every single weekend and most definitely around holidays. And even though moms feel this to a certain extent, they'll never feel it to the extent of the dad. Okay, bye.
If the world had more conscious women like this, things would be different. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Many women only look to blame the man without taking responsibility for their own actions. They even managed to shut down this woman's main account because they didn't like the message she was sharing. An uncomfortable truth they don't want the world to hear. There are fathers who go days, months, or even years without being able to see their children, missing important moments in their lives because an ungrateful mother won't allow it. Some use money as leverage to permit visits. Others do it out of jealousy or pure spite toward the man, simply because they can't stand that he has moved on. For women like that, I've always believed there's a special place reserved in hell. These are the first to go out and claim that the father abandoned his children, even though they know perfectly well that's not true. There are even mothers who, knowing the father drives for hours to see his kids, lie to the child by saying their dad isn't coming, or take them somewhere else to avoid the visit. How do they justify this? They always find an excuse to play the victim. In the end, many are only after the child support money, not for the children, but for themselves. This system needs to change because it's anything but fair.
So I'm a nearly 30-year-old virgin living at my parents' house, and I'm going to tell you the one reason why I still think I'm single. So the number one reason why I still think I'm single is because I've been attracted to the wrong guys. I would get insane chemistry with guys that are unavailable, very exciting, very unpredictable, love bombing, will give me gifts, give me compliments, and I would get sucked into this. And then by the time I've decided I'm interested, they aren't interested anymore and they are addicted to the chase. So recently I realized this through therapy and YouTube videos that I no longer want to be attracted to these guys. And so I'm currently doing a lot of work to change this and realizing actually that's not the type of guy I want, because usually they are players, they are very charming, they're very good at picking up girls, but they're not very good for long-term relationships, which is something that I'm looking for.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
As you all know, the wall doesn't forgive. This is the typical woman who is looking for the 666 of the apocalypse. A man who earns six figures, is 6 feet tall, and has a six-pack. The 666 from hell. She makes it clear herself. She likes players, unstable men, the bad boys. According to her, she's a virgin. But it seems these men start the game of courting her, and when she makes it difficult for them, they get tired and walk away. That's the point when she starts to get interested. Now she's almost 30 years old and feels like her time is running out. The opportunity to start a family is slipping away, and her preferences have changed. Not because she's stopped liking that other type of man, but because she's looking for a beta provider who can offer long-term financial stability. But let's continue.
So if this is something that you found yourself being attracted to, then the best thing to do is acknowledge it. And once you realize it, you can go on dates. And if you see those signs, you can actually be like, isn't what I'm looking for. I'm actually wanting a guy that's going to be marriage material. And unfortunately,
that can sometimes seem a bit more boring. They aren't going to be this unpredictable excitement. I think a lot of what you're attracted to is usually to do with your childhood. So that's something to dive into. Once you acknowledge it, then you can start to rewire your brain and your nervous system and be like, actually, a little bit boring or relaxing is what you want. And they should be like a warm fireplace, not fireworks. I heard that on YouTube and I just thought that was so amazing because you don't want someone that's going to be up and down, unpredictable, cheating on you and all that crazy stuff. So look for a warm fireplace and someone that maybe is more of a slow burn, and that's what I'm doing. So I'll keep you updated. Peace.
This confirms why so many women get divorced. When a woman enters her 30s, she feels societal pressure and starts looking for a partner in a more rational than emotional way. She admits it herself. She used to like Chads, the men who took her on an emotional roller coaster. But now, as she reaches her 30s, she's looking for financial stability. This leads her to choose the boring man, the one who doesn't excite her but can give her the ring and the much-desired stability, the beta provider. The problem is that being with someone solely for stability, knowing you don't really like them, inevitably ends in divorce. She might go through with it once she gets the ring or has kids, knowing she can later receive money from him. As a man, I don't think this is right. The idea of a woman choosing me solely for what I can provide, and not because she genuinely likes me, is troubling. Brothers, protect yourselves from women like this. That's why I always say, the wall doesn't forgive.
Please don't catcall me unless you're attractive.
Wait, what did they say? Let's hear that again.
Please don't catcall me unless you're attractive.
Okay. Yeah, that's really what they said.
Unless you're a 7, 8, 9, or 10. If you're a 10, you're probably not catcalling.
Yeah, no. No, 10s don't catcall. In fact, gentlemen don't catcall. Let's even take it a step further. No person should be catcalling another. That's not what people that know how to conduct themselves actually should be doing. Anyone that has manners would actually know better.
But don't do it. I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that unless you're sexy.
Isn't that just lovely? What a wonderful example that is of how perception really does matter. Because if a person is considered to be attractive, their actions could possibly be considered to be flirtatious. While on the other hand, if they're not considered to be attractive, their actions may be perceived as just harassment.
Stop it.
Totally. There's a very fine line between a compliment and harassment, and that line is drawn based on the man's attractiveness. If a man is unattractive, it's harassment. If he's attractive, even if he says something 100 times worse, it's perceived as a compliment. These types of women are the worst. They dress in revealing clothing to get the attention of men on the street, and when they get it, they insult those who try to approach them. They do all this just to feed their ego. That's why, when a Chad comes along and ends up breaking their heart, I don't feel sorry for them. They're the first ones to humiliate a man who isn't attractive, even if he approached them with good intentions. The double standard is obvious, and these behaviors only serve to reinforce that hypocrisy.
I'm 30, I'm single, I have no kids, and I really sometimes I'm like, is this what this I'm Barbie? I'm Barbie. Hi Barbie. I get to do whatever I want, whenever I want, however I want to. I don't have anybody to answer to. If I want to go spend $1,000 and get my lips done, I can. If I want to not show up to work for a week and go to France, I can. If I decide that I want to save all my money and buy myself Barbie's dream house, I get to do that. Don't let people tell you that just because you're single or just because you don't have a family or just because you don't have kids or because you don't have, like, whatever your circumstances are, don't let that be a reason why you're not happy, dude. Your life is great. Your life is wonderful. Your life is perfect. It's always working out for you and it's never working against you.
No, your life isn't amazing. It's boring. When I met my wife, she had a similar mindset. She believed she could take on the world on her own. One day, after we were already in a relationship, she confessed to me that although at the time she thought doing whatever she wanted was freedom, the reality was that it made her deeply unhappy. Today, she values having a man who leads her, guides her, and cares about her well-being. Women with that kind of mindset are often lonelier than the sun at noon. They can do it all, travel, spend, live their life. But even in the most romantic city in the world, loneliness makes everything feel empty. That's why they turn to therapy, antidepressants, and surround themselves with friends to avoid facing reality. The fear of being alone intensifies when they see their friends getting married. The rhetoric sounds nice in theory, but in practice, it's unfulfilling. My advice: invest in the potential of an average man, because time passes and the wall doesn't forgive.
So, can someone tell me why guys just aren't trying anymore? They can't even take us out for like a simple date. I keep seeing on the internet how everyone keeps getting treated. And I'm just like, can't even get the bare minimum. And it's really sad that it's like a universal kind of experience. Like, it's so easy to please us. I would enjoy just someone visiting me at work and bringing me my favorite coffee.
Have we all suddenly forgotten when women collectively decided to choose the bear over men? Or how we've overcorrected SA allegations and basically men need consent just to look in your direction, or he's going to be facing false allegations or charges against him for SA? And let's not forget that y'all want men to be blowing up your phone, but not blowing up your phone too much to where he's a creep, but not too little to where it's not enough effort. And that's confusing as fuck for any human being. Y'all want maximum effort with minimal reciprocation. Like basically the juice isn't worth the squeeze. And you want a guy with a sense of humor, but when he hits you with the dad joke on a dating app, now he's weird and that was so unoriginal and you know, he's giving you the ick. And the funny thing is you always want to talk about a man's lack of effort, but do women not do the exact same thing? They stop putting in effort and a man comes home to a woman in leggings and sweatpants, but when y'all started dating, you were dressing up, you were putting in that same effort, but y'all never want to talk about the amount of women that drop off in their own effort. And let's not even get into the amount of intimacy that drops off in relationships, because women start out sexualizing themselves and they give out so much sex in relationships. And then guess what? That drops off as well. But y'all also don't want to have that kind of conversation about effort. And what's even more confusing is the way that women will say, like, don't introduce me to a vibe you can't maintain, even though the women's expectations is exactly that. It's a vibe that men cannot maintain, which is why the effort drops off and suddenly he's not doing enough. Women love to be love bombed. And then when it stops, they're confused as to why, because they have unrealistic expectations to be treated like a Disneyland fairy tale for the rest of their life, and it's not realistic. And it's because of social media. It's because of the people around them telling them that they deserve the most, and the most is not realistic. People still have jobs. People still have feelings. Men still have mental health issues. Y'all don't even want to take that into consideration because you're all about me, and this sense of entitlement that these men owe you shit, and they don't owe you anything. Women have set the standard and now they're unhappy with the standard. Okay, bye.
I should have just walked away. That's the reality many men face today. Why? Because the bare minimum effort these women demand is exactly what they're unwilling to give in return. When a man invites them on a simple date like having coffee, they reject him. If he takes the time to message them, they leave him on read because they're not interested. And if a man looks at them, it's already considered harassment. They're obsessed with social media, idealizing fake relationships and believing they deserve a 10 out of 10 man, while their beauty and attitude don't meet those standards. They want the man to bring everything to the table, while they only offer their presence, one that, on top of it all, deteriorates over time. They demand unrealistic standards, but aren't willing to offer anything in return. That's why I always say, if a woman doesn't treat you like her best option, she doesn't care about you. If it's not reciprocal, don't stay. The ones who complain the most about men not putting in effort are the same ones who have never made an effort to take care of one. We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, here are some questions for you. Is the effort in a relationship truly reciprocal these days? Are unrealistic expectations ruining dating? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from The Wall.